Your confirmation page is the page that somebody sees right after they book a call to speak with you. So you've done all this energy, all this effort, all this money to get somebody to book this call. And what most people do is they stop right there. The worst offenders will literally just have their calendar software confirmation. So like for Calendly, it says your call is booked with Ravi Abuvala. But I know that people that watch this channel, you're a step past that. But I will tell you that even people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, they still have abysmally ugly and low converting thank you pages. So this is obviously a gross overgeneralization, but I'm not going to put any of my clients on blast. So I just kind of showed you and drew it out here. But most thank you pages after somebody books look like this. It says thanks at the top. They say, hey, great, I sent you a calendar invite, your email. Be sure to check there. Oh, and by the way, show up or we're going to kill you. Obviously, they don't say we're going to kill you, but the verbiage is very similar. It's like, you better show up, or if you don't show up, you're never going to be allowed to book again. Like, that always makes me laugh so hard. Oh, we'll blacklist you from the system. Like, this person gives a you-know-what if they're going to be blacklisted from your system, right? And you're using fear as a motivator, which is never the best motivator to use. And then, of course, time and time again, I've seen this on so many thank you pages. They just inundate the prospect with hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos and testimonials and case studies and contents on that thank you page because somebody did it one time 5 years ago and everyone's just done it since then. But that's one of the worst things that you can do. And I'm going to go deeper why in a moment. But just to give you a preview, we have a software called Microsoft Clarity where we are actually able to see website visitors when they visit our website. And we can see that when we have too much stuff on that page, there's actually a lower percentage that somebody consumes any of that content versus having a few select pieces of content skyrockets the consumption rate. Now, before I show you what to replace this page with, let me just tell you the underlying reason why this page is so bad. When somebody books a call, you see it as a done deal. You see as well, they put in their information and they scheduled a time and they would never no-show me. What you understand is that even if these are successful business owners, these are real people. Real people with real fears and real responsibilities. So if you just get them on this page and you say, thanks, check your email, well, then they're just going to close out that page and they're going to go about their life. And if their call is scheduled in 24 hours or 48 hours or 72 hours, well, things can get in the way. There's going to be obligations, requirements, their spouse saying something, their kids getting sick, whatever else it is. And if they don't put a high value or a high level of confidence that they're going to get value from this call, then they're just going to slot that call out and do something else instead. So what we want to do is we want to use this confirmation page to resell this person on showing up to the call, getting them excited for it and making sure that it's the number one thing on their list in the next 24 to 48 hours. So after analyzing 3,000 marketing systems, I have found that high show rates are correlated with 4 main components on the confirmation page. The first is going to be a micro ask. A micro ask is when you're asking the person who just booked to take one small additional step to let you know that they're serious about showing up to this call. So this already is going to filter out a bunch of the unserious people because if they're not willing to do this itty bitty additional thing, then you know there's a chance that they're not going to show up. Just to give you the data behind this, when we looked at our micro ask over thousands of sales calls, we saw that the people that did complete this micro ask had a 95% show rate. And the people that did not complete this micro ask had a 50% show rate, which means that if they didn't complete it, we would still take the sales call or we would double book them. But if they did complete it, then we know that this person's hot and they're ready to move forward. Now, I know some of you are already saying, oh, Ravi, I have something on there. It tells them to go in their email and I send it. It's way too complicated. You're making this prospect have to go somewhere else and, fill out a long form or go in their email and email you back or confirm the calendar of the thing. No. Those are not micro asks. Those are bigger asks. So a micro ask would be something like click this one button on this page here and you put it what's known as above the fold, which means that this is exactly what it looks like when somebody lands on this page after they book a call with us. And so without literally having to scroll anywhere, they can confirm their call either via text or via WhatsApp. The second key element of a banger confirmation page is going to be clarity. But clarity on a confirmation page really means 2 things. So the first is clarity on what the next steps are right now. So what I see a lot of times is when I land on confirmation pages, and this really goes for websites and sales funnels and all that stuff, but there's so much going on at the same time. So much is competing for my attention. Hey, click this button here, go watch this YouTube video here, go do this thing here, all above the fold, all before I do anything. There's no clear order of operations. And so people get overwhelmed. They get worried. Somebody says their name, they look up, they look down again, and they already forget where they are, and so they just exit out of the screen. So you want to make it very easy to read, easy on the eyes, a lot of blank space, and you want to make it in some kind of hierarchy, right? So it says you're booked, do this thing first, and then do these two things down below. And so before I've even shown them what those two things are, I'm kind of giving them an order of operations. And this makes it easy for someone to know what the next step should be. The second part of clarity is having clarity on exactly what to expect on the call. So we do this in two ways. First is the clarity call briefing. So this is a video you should be having on your thank you page where you're pretty much explaining, here's what to expect on the call. You're going to get a Zoom link in your email and on your calendar. Click it, show up to the call, have these numbers ready, and the call is going to be structured like this. First, we're going to audit what you're doing right now. Then we're going to identify what the biggest constraint is. And then we're going to give you a literal roadmap of what we would do to fix it. And then if it makes sense, we'll help you install that roadmap done for you, right? So I'm telling them what to expect on the call. And then even if you scroll a little bit more down, I say how to show up prepared. So I say add the call to your calendar, tap the confirmation page above, and get these 5 numbers so we can move fast in the call. And a really funny part about this is I just did a call right before I filmed this video, and this guy came on with all of these numbers already ready to go. And so the call, instead of being 60 minutes, was 30 minutes. He had absolute clarity and he closed on the call because he had these things ready to go. Now, this isn't required, but I say the more you have this ready, the faster we can move and the more specific your plan will be. Now, if you're ready for the real piece de la résistance, which means the freaking epic part, scroll down a little bit further, and I literally show them what an example of one of these calls would look like, because I have a series on my YouTube channel called the Constraints Call Series. And what I do is I have founders coming on doing over $100,000 a month, and I audit their business, and then I tell them exactly what they need to do to fix it. And so this is exactly how we do our sales calls. We get on the call, we look at the numbers, and we say, these are the steps you need to do to grow your business. This is why you've been stuck at the same number for so long. And so when they watch that video, they're like, oh my God, this is epic. I'm going to get so much value whether I work with Ravi or not. And that's what I want people to do. I want people to put this on a pedestal. I want them to think like, okay, even if I don't work with them, I'm going to know exactly what my next steps need to be. And then it's on the job of me or the salesperson to convince them like, hey, you could go out and execute this yourself, or you could just have our team do this done for you, which is the only part of this video that isn't shown, which is obviously the actual selling part of it. If you want my help installing any of these systems in your business done for you, be sure to book a call with my team down below.